And we're live. Hello. Hi, welcome to Makers TV. Today we're going to talk about how you can figure out what pain point your product or service solves for your customer. We've been talking about this on the Makers Collective community group for the last week or so. I also sent out a newsletter last week talking about paint points. I did mean pain points, and figuring out what your product solves, what pain point your product solves for people. Now I have to apologize. I am sick. I sound bleh, and I'm going to try really hard not to sniff you guys and not to sneeze. So let's get into it. Hello, I'm Michaela. I'm from the Makers Collective, and my brain is also foggy, so I'm going to have to check my notes really, probably more often than usual. So sorry about that too. Yes, I'm Michaela. I don't need to check my notes for that. From the makerscollective.com.au, and I publish weekly episodes delivering short, sharp, actionable lessons to help you strengthen your brand and grow your business. So as I said, today we're talking about pain points, and the reason that I've gone over this a few times now, in the group, on my page, in the newsletter, and I will be writing a blog post about it as well as doing this Makers TV episode, is that a lot of the time I really find that people are either too general about the answer, or otherwise they're just not sure what their product could possibly solve for people. Maybe if it's like jewelry or home decor or something that's just kind of fun to buy, people don't generally understand how they can figure out what pain point that might possibly be solving. So what I'm going to do today is talk about a technique called the 5 whys, and just give you 3 quick examples of how it can work, and then hopefully you'll have enough information to go away and do this with your own products or services. So basically the 5 whys technique was originally developed and refined in the Toyota company in the 1950s. So the Toyota Motor Corporation, basically they came up with this 5 whys technique to figure out why stuff was going wrong. And it's really about trying to find the root cause of the problem, not just the sort of surface level issues. And so this is really relevant to our pain points because, for example, as I was saying, people are sometimes a little bit too general when it comes to figuring out what problem they're solving. And one example is I asked in my group, and someone said they solve the pain point they solve for their customers is marketing. And marketing is so general and so broad. It's not going to, that doesn't actually give you any useful information how you can use that to speak to your customers effectively and sort of, be able to share the benefits with them of how you're solving that pain point, because it's not actually a pain point. Marketing is a thing, not really the deeper level. Marketing is that surface level, that we're looking at. We want to go deeper and deeper. So the 5 whys helps to do that. So basically when you're faced with the 5 whys, your answers usually address the obvious aspects of a problem or a situation, but when repeated, the question prompts us to think more deeply about why something may have happened, or, that sort of talking in like if something's going wrong, but it lets you go deeper into it. I feel like in this episode, my brain's so foggy, I'm going to say deeper a lot and surface level a lot. So apologies for that, but I'll jump into some examples, and I'll get to the marketing example in a second. But the first one is just really, it's not about really products or services at all, but it will show you how, like what it means to go deeper. I'm just going to make myself laugh every time I say that now. Okay, so let's say you're struggling to work with a specific colleague at the office. So why can't I work with this person is the first why question. Because whatever I do or say, he just won't listen to me. We all know someone like that. They're very frustrating. So why? Why won't that person listen to you? The answer here is, I don't know. So your answer can be, I don't know, or I'm not sure to one of the questions. That's totally fine. But then the next why is, why don't you know? And the answer to that might be, because I haven't asked him. I haven't asked him why he doesn't listen to me. And then the next question, why haven't you asked him? I'm a little nervous about confronting him. Why are you nervous? Because I don't feel comfortable with confrontation. So even though that's not really solving the original problem, it is getting to the crux of how you might be able to solve that problem. So getting down to the fact that this person is not comfortable with confrontation, maybe then they can work on some strategies on how they can, learn to manage people and communicate effectively, and then they could communicate with this person and then figure out why they don't listen to them, or, so it opens up a whole area that wasn't even thought of at the very beginning, because they were just looking at this person like, I can't work with this person. So going down through those 5 whys is really helpful to open up new stuff that maybe you hadn't thought about before. So getting back to the marketing example, if your product has to do with marketing, it's not enough to say that marketing is the pain point you solve. So let's start with a question like, why is someone going to purchase your marketing services? And the answer might be because they need help with their marketing. Duh. That's a pretty obvious answer for that top level why. So then you ask, why do they need help with their marketing? And then the answer might be, and before I go through this example, I want to be really clear that my examples are not going to fit everyone, because every answer will be different dependent on your actual audience. So, because you should know your audience quite well, and this is one facet of getting to know them a bit better, and you might have to do research to find out the real answers to these. You can sort of make wild guesses to begin with, but, you should never assume anything. So these are the kind of questions that you might be able to get out of people by doing an interview with a past customer, or just asking on your social media platforms or something like that. But yes, they will be different for everyone. My examples are literally just examples, kind of taking a stab in the dark about someone's audience that I don't know. I haven't done the research for. So on with the example. Why are they going to purchase your services? Because they need help with their marketing. Why do they need help with their marketing? Because they don't know how to do it. Why don't they know how to do it? Because they have too many other jobs to do in their business and they don't have time to learn marketing too. Now already, after only asking 3 whys, that wasn't even 5 that time, we're figuring out that it's actually an issue of time, not marketing. Like maybe this person is very clever and they know how to learn marketing, but they don't have time to do that. So they need some help. They need services, they need to get your services to help them with that. But the pain point is that they don't have the time to do it. And that's something that you can actually really work with in your own marketing and in your messaging to your customers, talking about how your services will save them time. So, it all sort of comes back to knowing that deeper reason for why someone is buying something or purchasing something from you. Now I'm going to go on to more of a handmade example, because I think that's the area that people get tripped up with the most. Because a lot of the time, whenever I email out about this pain point stuff, or, trying to work out what problem your product solves, I get many replies back saying, can it just be because it's fun and they want something fun, or it's pretty and they like pretty things? And, it could just be that, a portion of your audience might just be buying your stuff because they think it's pretty, and that's totally fine. But that, again, doesn't help your marketing messaging. So when you're trying to talk to that individual person in your product descriptions, just going, oh, you want a pretty thing, it's not calling on any emotion from them. And people buy out of emotion, not so much logic. So you want to appeal to those emotions of people, and this asking why 5 times is getting down to the crux of what emotion they're feeling that you can appeal to make them buy your thing. And also hopefully your thing then is solving that pain point. So I'm going to use the example of decor. So it could be like cushions, it could be a vase, it could be even a painting on the wall, anything that goes in your home is this example. So you have a person and they want to buy some room decor. So why does she want, and we're saying it's a she, why does she want new decor? The answer might be because she wants her home to look nice. Now, as I was saying before, these examples are just examples. I'm not saying that this example is going to be the answer for you if you sell decor, because again, you know your audience better than I do. So the answer might be something completely different. Okay, so she wants her home to look nice. Why does she want it to look nice? Because when her guests come over, it's important to her that her home looks nice. But why is it important that her home looks nice for her guests? Because she wants them to be impressed. So why does she want them to be impressed? Because she used to have no money to buy anything for her home and she felt ashamed whenever anyone came over. Now that is the 5-level deep pain point that you are solving. So it's kind of like, and again, my example, this is like, someone sort of inner feelings of shame is kind of like a big deal. And it might not be that for your audience. It might be more so that they're really into design and style. And why do they do that? Because they grew up doing design and their mum was an artist. And, it might be something completely like not, what you might call as negative, like feelings of shame of people coming over because your house is, not very nice because you don't have any money, which is just silly anyway. But, I think it's important to, I've lost my train of thought because my brain fog is like setting in now because I've talked for too long. But, okay, so rewind. I was talking about, yes, so it could be like if their mum was an artist, it could be that, and it could be linked to a positive emotion, but their pain point is that they want to relive those memories of their childhood, of growing up in a really artistic home, right? So that, even though it's not negative per se, it's still a pain point. They want that feeling of nostalgia or going back to their childhood. Maybe they miss their mum for whatever reason. That can still be a pain point. Or this one with the wanting their home to look nice, it's negative, but it could be any level of those extremes. So, it doesn't have to be, I guess what I'm trying to get at is you don't have to be solving world peace or like saving anyone's life to be solving a pain point. It could be a very, still important. I don't want to say surface level because we have gone the 5 levels deep, but it doesn't have to be like saving anyone's life is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, so I've done those 3 examples now, and hopefully that's made it a little bit clearer to you about how you can possibly use these 5 whys to work out what your pain points are. What I would love for you to do is in the comments below this video, tell me what your product is. And if you're willing to share, I would love for you to actually go through those 5 questions of why. So who is buying your thing, why they're buying it, and then why, and really get to that like crux of that emotional or pain point that you can solve for people. And the other thing I would like you to do is, if you found this helpful, definitely share it with your friends. And the third thing I would like you to do is, if you haven't yet started your business, or you feel like you need a little bit of a boost, maybe you've been thinking about it for a while, or you know someone who you think should start a business but they haven't yet, I'm running the Makers Co 5-day Start Your Biz Challenge at the moment. So I would love you to jump onto that or send it to a friend who, needs that little boost or encouragement or just a helping hand to get them started. I've linked that in the description below, sideways, wherever you're watching this, either on Facebook, YouTube, my website. It's going to be everywhere. So if you want to share that link or sign up yourself for the 5-day challenge, I would love to have you in there. And finally, if you would like to join the Makers Co community group on Facebook, it's a completely free group. And I'm actually doing a little bit of an overhaul at the moment about what sort of content I'm going to be posting in there. So I sort of polled everyone that was in the group, and they said that they would love to be educated and inspired by being in that group, along with some other things too. But I'm really going to put more of a focus on education rather than previously we've been asking a lot of questions and, trying to get people to, just share, bits of their day and stuff. But I'm going to shift the focus slightly and have a lot of educational resources in there for you guys. So, if you're wanting to start or grow your business, strengthen your brand, jump on over to the Makers Community group on Facebook. And I feel like now it's time for me to go and have a nap. I did a sniff, I'm sorry. Not well, but I'll be fine. It's just cold. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I try and keep these lessons quite short. I usually am about the 15-minute mark, which is where we're at right now. I'm trying to get below 10, but I just can't do it. So they're 15-minute lessons, and yeah, I hope to see you next week. I'll be back with more tips. If you have any suggestions of topics that you would like me to cover, please comment and let me know what it is, and I'll put it on the list. Okay, thank you so much again, and I'll see you later.